Okay,
Make
here we
your
go.
vote count by a gun
Here we
on
go.
election day.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry, my computer's running really slow. So I'm hoping everything's okay. Eric's is going a lot faster than mine. So, okay. I'll just have to read things and not type, I guess. And I'll close I've got all the tabs bookmarked, so I'll close them as I go and maybe it'll perform a little bit better as I go. Okay, so hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles. So glad you're here, and I'm glad that we can spend some time together. I love the hunter season stuff, silly rabbit. Oh, these are great, guys. Yeah, things are coming out. It's getting exciting. It just really is. So, oh goodness. Okay, I hope I've got everything working all right. The chat's kind of weird, but anyway,
Stupid ads on YouTube.
yeah, ads on YouTube. They always do those kinds of things. All right, guys, let's get moving. So let me find my cursor here. All right, here we go. To start out with, in yesterday's video, I had the person who didn't understand what coyotes meant. And they said, how can an animal carry a whole person across the border? And it's like, oh, man. So this one right here says, clearly the education system in our country needs help. When college graduates think President Trump meant actual coyotes brought people across the border. Okay, so this was a response to it. Well, I checked her out, and she says her bio is just another black female conservative. So here's her YouTube channel, and she is my Patriot shout out tonight because she only has 5,000 subscribers. So, guys, you need to check this girl out. She's awesome. So, she's just got pizzazz. She's smart. She's just really got it together. So you need to make sure that you go to her channel and you subscribe. And don't forget, after you click the subscribe button, which if you haven't clicked the subscribe button for my channel yet, that would be a good thing to do, especially since YouTube has indiscriminately been just sucking my subscribers out. And I don't know what's going on here. I told you, my computer's acting really slow, which is ironic because I just freed up a whole big bunch of space. So anyway, subscribe to her and don't forget to click the bell. I'm going to shut this one because obviously, I don't know. I'm like, this is like molasses here. I don't know what to do. Things aren't closing. I have a lot of tabs open. So yeah, hit the like button too, folks. That does help. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it. I don't know. I'm like frozen. Oh, save to. I don't want to save it.
Technology is great when it works, people.
Yeah. Get rid of that one too. Come on. Okay. Anyway, this is her channel. So I like she has Think for Yourself and then the subscribe button there, if that'll work for me. There we go. And then I tell you, there's a lag on it. And then make sure you click the bell. And by the way, even if you've subscribed to me, please make sure that you still are, because I'm serious. They have been hitting me hard in October. Wow. I'm just like every other day I lose a net loss of subs. It's really bizarre. So anyway, make sure you click this and go to all. Because if you click the all, then you'll be able to actually see her posts when she puts them up. It looks like about once a week or so she puts them up. But the one that I listened to that I had she really does a great job. You need to go listen to this. Now this one I'm just going to leave for you down below because it's got a lot of information in it, and it's not a good thing to really be doing in a live stream because there's too many distractions and everything. But this is a little bit of history of Burisma. And I think maybe once you see what's going on here, it's really a long thread, and you got to keep going until you see him say end. But there's a lot of stuff in here that I think you're going to want to hear about, and they have to do with how Burisma started and those kinds of things. Okay? So make sure that you do that. Okay, got that one closed. As I close them, I think it'll get a little bit better. It's just I had 18 tabs open, so I'm sure.
It is improving slowly.
It is improving as I'm closing some of them. Anyway, on this one, President Trump says, huge win today for the United States and for peace in the world. Sudan has agreed to a peace and normalization agreement with Israel. Do you believe this? I mean, this is really pretty incredible. With the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, that's 3 Arab countries to have done so in only a matter of weeks. More will follow. And I tell you, a lot's going to happen once, this starts all coming together after the election, because many of them are hesitant right now since they don't know who's going to win. We do, right? But they're a little hesitant to make deals, and especially like China and Iran, they're not going to make any deals until after this election because they're desperately hoping that Joe wins. And, that's just not going to happen. So, but they won't make any deals until after that. So here's the agreement and everything. I think it's really great. When I get done and I get home and everything, I'll go through and I'll put all the links to these down in the description, just like usual. And yes, I know I forgot to put the Facebook, the Trump video of the 60 Minutes thing. I forgot to put that link in the description of the last video. So I will go back and do that one too while I'm doing the rest of these. Sorry about that. But yeah, Leslie Stahl, she was an embarrassment. Okay, see, it even tells me that we're slow. All right, but it's getting better. Ivanka Trump posted this, and she said, yesterday, President Trump granted Duke Tanner clemency after 16 years in prison. 16 years, that's a long time. Duke was sentenced to life in prison for a first-time non-violent crime because of Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill. We pray that you will do much good with your second chance, Duke. God bless. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it because this is really something you need to hear. I don't know. It's not giving me a hand. Come on. Let's see if it'll come up. I may just have to leave it for you guys. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to behave. Anyway, very good video. You need to hear that, guys.
First and foremost, I want to give all the
now
praise
it comes
and glory
on
to God.
as I closed it. So, when you do live streams, there's just a lot of things that can go wrong. And tonight it seems like they all are. So, anyway, that's just the fun part of doing things. I can't go back and edit it like I do with my regular videos. But at least I don't have cats pawing on me this time. I don't know where the kittens are.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, so far.
Hey, this is early on the live stream, so who knows?
Yeah, they're playing. I think they're playing with the boys right now. So,
yeah.
Notice this says France surpasses 1 million confirmed coronavirus cases amid spike. Okay, now this is France, who has been wearing masks this entire time. Okay, they have been very mask oriented, and yet they're having a spike. And guess what? They have socialized medicine. So that means that everybody can, get the care that they need, but yet they're still having a spike. So, what's going on? Well, what's really interesting is in this article, and it's not part of this article, but, this, first of all, let me point this out to you. The experts say the real numbers of infections are probably much higher than the ones governments around the world are reporting because of lack of tests. So this reconfirms what President Trump was saying and has been saying, that the reason we have so many, and it looks like we have so many more positive people, is because we're doing so much more testing than everybody else. So if everybody was doing the same percentage of testing, then you'd have it right there. But, But anyway, down here in this article, there's a link to another article, which evidently the LA Times only allows you one free article without, being a subscriber or clearing your cookies. But it has this article. It says U.S. deaths are about 300,000 higher than expected since the coronavirus arrived. Okay, now, I was pretty sure that we haven't even had 300,000 people. So we have cases, of course. The cases are higher. But, the cases, it says deaths. U.S. deaths are about 300,000 higher. But we haven't had 300,000 deaths. So how can it possibly be 300,000 deaths higher? It doesn't make sense. And we know a big bunch of these deaths actually weren't from COVID. They were with COVID. The person may have had COVID, but they didn't die from having COVID. And we've had, 5 million have recovered. But nobody's talking about that. No, not at all. So let me see if I can close these, and maybe that'll speed it up a little. It's getting better. Again, when I'm not doing a live stream, I can cut those out. The National Pulse, I'll tell you what, I've really appreciated the National Pulse lately. They've been doing some awesome stuff. And of course, we know for sure that the big guy is Joe. And here we have a smoking gun. Biden emails reveal he lobbied the big guy for political favors, claimed, if I ask, he will do it. So there's more down here. I mean, there are all kinds of emails coming out, and we've just scratched the surface, folks, really. And again, I don't know how this is going to come up. There's the email right there. So if you want to read through that, it's a little small, and I can't really see it on this computer. Well, I can, but it's like really small. So I'll leave this link down below after we get done and everything. So you can do that. I'm waiting until this clears up just a little bit. It's getting better. This one came up on the boards, and it says President Trump's Twitter accessed by security expert who guessed password MAGA 2020 with an exclamation mark. Now, I find it very hard to believe that our president is that stupid. Okay? You don't put those kinds of passwords on the president's account. I mean, why would you have that password? I don't understand. So this guy's claiming that, though, that is what he has done. And he reported it because it was a security issue. So he reported it. And this is what he gave, I guess, as proof of it, that he went in and it says edit profile. And then down here's the info. Well, I got news for you. I could go in and make an account and put that picture in there and that picture in there and type in that and type in this. So nothing that I see right here, I don't know, maybe he had more, but nothing I see right here indicates that he actually was in the president's account. But I don't know. This guy, it says this was a second time and gives the first time supposedly. I don't know. I just find it really hard to believe that our president, who is so smart, used the password MAGA 2020 with an exclamation mark. Serious? My passwords are a lot worse than that. I mean, you gotta really, really put it together. Yeah, you know what? G513, we changed some of the settings, and I think maybe we upped it a little too much. So I think maybe that's what's lagging us. I don't know. We're still learning how to get all the settings just right. So I'm sorry if it's lagging too much here, folks. Okay, so yeah, I'll leave the link to this. If you're somebody who's into the hacking type stuff and you want to read through this, that's fine. But just kind of interesting, first of all, that he'd be doing that. And secondly, that was the password. So I think, the boss man, Mr. Military Guy, needs to talk to him about it. Okay, here's an interesting site that's been put together. This is on GitHub. So it's like open source. And you can go through and you can find the election early vote statistics. Now, most of them, they don't say what they voted for, like if they was Republican or Democrat, but it does, it does have maps. You can go into individuals and you can see Illinois has, okay, Indiana's been almost 1 million there. Illinois had almost 2 million. Texas is really big. They've had 6 million people who've already voted. California has 5 million, almost 6. Florida has, let's see, if it goes down here, almost 5 million. So lots and lots of people have already voted. I think it's just very interesting. In fact, I saw one place that said that maybe it was, I'm trying to remember. It was, no, I don't recall that 30%, was it more than 30%, 40% of some of votes? I don't remember. But that they'd had that much of an increase in over what we used to have. So, or what we originally had in the last 2016 election. So you can go into each individual one, and evidently this Michael McDonald, professor, University of Florida, is doing this, and it's the United States Elections Project, I guess. So there you go. And we'll close that one. I'm not going to play any of this, but I do want to tell you I'm going to leave the link down below. You need to see this because I think this will explain a lot of what happened and what is going on and what topic I'm probably going to avoid just because of everything. Okay? I do want to tell you that she has been totally cut off from Patreon, from YouTube, of course, from PayPal. That was a really bad one too. So this is something that's happening. Today, or well, last night, late, I looked at my mail and sure enough, I have totally been deplatformed from Patreon. So those people whose names are across the bottom of my screen right now, I want to thank you for the support that you've given me over the last year or more. And there were 2 or 3 new ones that came in that I haven't had time to add to that. But we got to figure out something different, folks, because they just cut it off. I can't even log in with my Patreon account. It says it's suspended. So, or it's, I don't know. I can't remember what the terminology was, but it was basically, I was supporting a couple of people, and I guess that's just terminated too. So lots of people, lots of channels. So yes, there is, like I said, I'll link to that video and then you can follow her. If you noticed in the debate, Joe mentioned Dark Winter. And I think, this was something that that is up with that particular thing. When you're talking about Dark Winter, there was a military exercise that they did. And so here is the link to it. I'll leave this. This is what the researchers came up with, and I think it's got some really interesting articles about it, and you got to kind of wonder why he used that terminology. But then again, Joe could have just been trying to put out the doom and gloom that they all have. I don't know. I think that's what they're trying to have their platform be. The world is going to end. The world is going to end. So just thought I would point that out to you, and I'll leave the link so you can, check it out for yourself and see what they have to say. All right, let me close this one, by the way. All right, we're getting to the point where it's working a lot better for me. I don't know about you guys, but mine's working. This article right here, a friend of mine on Facebook posted, and she's a never Trumper, okay? I love her dearly, good friends, but she hates Trump just with a passion. She hates him. So when she posted this, I wasn't surprised that she posted it, but then I actually read it, and I'm a little sad that she didn't vet some of this stuff better, because this guy right here, he has Trump derangement syndrome big time, and he's the former New Hampshire GOP chair, which tells you what our GOP chairs were doing. I mean, they've not been helping us out at all. And so they think this guy, where is the responsible governance, the individual liberty, equal justice and opportunity for all? I asked my Republican friends, is this your party? When you read through this, it comes up with all the same things that we have heard, all the lies. And, I write this in hope that Americans who still call themselves Republicans and plan on voting for Donald Trump will consider carefully the cost of another Trump presidency to our nation and to our children. As a former Republican state party chair, I'm so glad he's former. I understand well how difficult it is to even imagine voting outside the party, and I understand the sense of loyalty to party that decades of activism engenders. I have no allegiance to a party, folks. I have an allegiance to truths, to policies. And that's what I'm going to vote for, are policies. I don't care what letter of the alphabet is behind their name. I look at what they stand for. And right now, President Trump is standing for all the things Grenier Chantal must be a Lincoln Project person. You nailed it. Yeah, definitely. Hi, Gunnar Grana. So, yeah, this is one of the Lincoln Project people, which are a bunch of Republicans who hate Trump. And the thing is, the stuff in here is the same old lies we're hearing from the mainstream media. I mean, COVID has claimed over 217,000 American lives, and families are grieving, hearts broken, dreams lost, hopes destroyed. That a president of our great nation would make such a cold calculation to downplay that he knew what he knew to be a devastating disease and place every American in grave danger for his own political benefit is nearly beyond belief, because it didn't happen. Oh, I just, you read stuff like that and it's like, really? Seriously? That's just ridiculous. That's not at all. I think somebody needs to ask Trump to define downplay, because I think this is where the issue is. The left-wing media seem to be saying that, well, downplay automatically equals lying. No, that's not at all. I mean, I felt like I was very informed, even with what we know now. I felt like all along he was informing us of what we needed to know. I didn't feel like I was being left out or lied to. I don't feel like anything he said to us was a lie. I think he was looking at it from a leader's perspective. You don't just say, if you're a leader, you get bad news. You don't go, we're all going to die, so just prepare. I mean, well, what Biden did last night at the debate, that's not what a leader does. That was so depressing. And, well, we're all just, it's going to be horrible.
It's going to be a dark winter.
Yeah, dark winter. But I'm just hoping he didn't mean something else about dark winter. So, that is the first one I saw, and I thought, oh, come off it. That's ridiculous. Oh, but Trump's presidency has cost us even more. In a country where racial inequality has long caused division, discord, and destruction, he has used the bigotry of the few to divide an entire nation. And what's going on? And just a minute. I got to check my power.
You're in.
It popped me up something. Let me make sure I've got power, guys. No, it wasn't. Okay, it's charging now. But holy cow, I almost lost the whole thing. Is there anything else that's going to happen tonight? We forgot. I forgot my mic. I got all the way to Eric's house, and I forgot the mic, so I had to go back and get that. So, yeah. Oh, well, anyway. So now they're trying to blame him for dividing a nation when that's not at all true. He wantonly tears at the fabric of our democracy without care or concern for the destruction he causes. In what way? The man has done absolutely nothing against our Constitution or our laws. Nothing. But yet, that's what they have. And what I said, a friend of mine put this on Facebook, and I was just very sad that she didn't vet it, because this is just not true. It's a pack of lies. And, they go on and, well, the Republicans could have stopped him. They should have voted against him. And we should have stood up and more of us should have. Well, fortunately, they didn't, you know. And he's like, well, I even called RNC Chairman Reince Priebus that evening and shared my very strong opinion that we must withdraw our support from Trump. And he told me others in the organization had already called with similar messages. So what this told me is not only was Trump having to fight against his opponent, but he was fighting against his own party. Oh, thank you, Grinny. Again, is it Grenier or Grenier? See, I would say Grenier Chantal because that's the French in me, but yeah, I think Biden probably did watch the Game of Thrones the night before. So, but when you go through this, then he goes on and he's like, oh, Priebus was frustrated and torn. I don't know that he necessarily was, but then again, it's Priebus. He might have been. Not one of my favorite people. But then Trump was never an advocate for Republican principles, never a voice for the strengths of Republican leadership. But even before he was elected, too many party leaders were all in. They loved his combative nature and his take-it-to-the-streets approach to politics, in spite of the bigoted, divisive, misogynistic foundation upon which it was built. I mean, it's just total lies. This sounds like it was written by somebody on the left. I mean, that's really, really what it's all about. And he's not a conservative. Now, did you know that? He's not a conservative. Yeah. Because he has grown the deficit to record highs. Well, here's the thing, though. It's playing out, okay? It really is. The whole thing is, if you look at what Trump is standing for, he has a plan, and it takes a little bit of time to increase our GDP to get that to that point. And it's going up. It was going up before COVID. And you can't blame him for COVID, but they do. But yeah, you can't blame him for COVID. It came in, and we've actually recovered very well. But the reason we did was because so many people were employed before, and they were able to sock away some extra money. So, that's what they were doing. Well, and then, of course, his assaults on equality and liberty are innumerable. I can't talk tonight. And it says, and all of these things, attacking the free press, denying science and medical facts in the face of a pandemic, and making the corruption of Richard Nixon look like penny poker. Do you believe this? They think that he was, corrupt, that he's done all these horrible, corrupt things. And it's like, no, he hasn't done anything corrupt. That's why Mueller couldn't find any dirt on him. That's why they hate him so bad, because he has no dirt on him that they can hold over him. So they can't manipulate him. They can't get him to dance for them. And they hate that.
Because he's not a politician.
Yeah, he's not a politician.
He's not a politician.
No.
He made that very clear last night at the debate, too.
He did. And, well, it's true. And
very true.
We voted for him because he isn't a politician. So, yeah. Yay. And it says, Trump has destroyed the foundations of traditional conservatism and the American institutions upon which our democracy is built. I mean, serious, guys. What is wrong with these people? And Trump's not pro-life. Now, get this. What I thought was pretty funny about this is this guy says Trump's not pro-life, so in order to show him how much we detest him not really being pro-life, we're going to vote for the Democrat who is for killing babies at any point in their life. So it's like, wait a minute here. Oh, and, making foolish anti-science arguments about masks rather than demanding accountability from a president who traded lives for power. And that's what they're saying about the Republican leaders. And it's like, no, this science. We want science. But then you're going to vote for the party that believes that there are more than two genders. So, and that your gender is a biological thing, That's what you're going to vote for. Just to prove that you don't like Trump. So you're going to vote for the other guys. I mean, when you read this, it is nonsensical. It really is. He doesn't love our troops. They're repeating that lie. That's not true. He demeaned John McCain. Yeah, okay. We all know why that was. And that's going to come out someday. he doesn't respect women, and that's just ridiculous. He like has put in the most women of any other administration. He's had so many women. Oh, and yeah, the Lincoln Project, there they are. Yeah, some of them. So while I'm loath to admit it, after the past 4 years, it is impossible to ignore that many in our party revel in this president's misogyny. Oh, like appointing the very first ever CIA director who was a woman? Oh, I mean, he's put women in so many positions that, senior positions that they never had before. And Obama sure didn't do it. So, he referred to Kamala as a monster. Well, I got to tell you, it's not because of her color, and it's not because of her gender. It's totally her personality on that one. They've too many in the Republican Party have cheered Trump on as he has assaulted the intelligence and service of women in Congress. No, he's, when you're looking at women and you give them a pass just because they're a woman, that's wrong. I'm sorry, don't do that. That's ridiculous. That's what's really bad. And he called them some names. Well, certain people he did, because it had nothing to do with them being women. It really didn't. And of course, the Megyn Kelly thing, they got to bring that up. And it's just, really, guys, you're reaching here. And, a president who humiliates and denigrates women, that's ridiculous. He does not. He does not at all. Oh, and then this one. I thought this one was pretty funny. Donald Trump's not concerned about black lives. And it says here that he has repeatedly referred to African Americans as the blacks. Okay. Do you know that the movement's called Black Lives Matter? So evidently, calling African Americans blacks is something that they're proud of, because that's the name of the entire movement. So if that is a derogatory thing, then the entire Democrat Party has been saying that for several months, because they're the ones behind Black Lives Matter. So plus, at the time I was reading this, I was watching one of the rallies, and there were like 5 black people sitting behind Trump, and they all had the shirts on that said "Blacks for Trump," and it's like, okay, so what's wrong with this? Why is it such a bad thing? But he tries to tie it to slavery and everything. It's like, really, seriously, yeah, that's just, it's ridiculous. Because so this guy that's supposedly so racist ended up, I think Haspel is dirty, by the way. I'm pretty sure she is. She had to have known what was going on over there. She was in London. She was stationed in London. She was like the head of that area, that field office. So yeah, she should have known. And so she, at minimum, is allowing this to go without question and allowed it to be covered up. So at minimum, or she was a participant in it. So, but anyway, so this whole thing about the racist thing, it's like, if he really is racist, then how do you explain him doing so many things that help out the black community? That opportunity zone thing is huge. Now, I know it was, whatchamacallit, Scott, is that? I'm blocking on his name right now. Yeah, the one, okay. Yeah, that was Senator, the black senator. I can't remember his name. Help me out. So yeah, it was his bill, but it was his idea, but Trump ran with it, and it has become really an important thing to rejuvenize a lot of these inner cities and stuff. And you've got that, you've got the lowest black unemployment. Good grief. If Trump is racist, he's doing it all wrong, because he's not doing things that hurt the black community. He's doing things that help them. So, you've got that. And so this guy is just opining on how awful it is that the GOP allowed this man to represent our party. And it's like, yeah, he represents it so much better than anybody before. And at least when I voted for Donald Trump before, and I'm getting ready to again, I don't have to hold my nose. I did for Romney. I'll tell you what, for McCain, I had a really hard time voting for him. Carson, he's a real good friend of Trey Gowdy's. I'm sorry. I'm just really having a hard time. He's a senator. All I can think is, I just can't think of his name. I see his face. Tim Scott. There you go. Tim Scott. I was thinking Scott, but then I thought Rick Scott. It's like, no. It's like, okay. Senator Tim Scott. Thank you. Finally, somebody came up with it. I'm just having a brain glitch tonight, guys. I'm so tired because of all the rallies this week and then the debate last night. And I watched the Louder with Crowder. They did a debate watch party, and in order to do it so that they don't get a copyright strike, they have to do a lot of commentary. So they often talk over them, and I don't like watching it with them the first time. I like to watch it by myself the first time, and then I can watch it with them and see if they saw other things. I don't know. They thought that the lady, the moderator, was worse than any of the others, but I don't think she was worse. I think she was... They were all bad. I think she was a little tad more fair, a little bit, because she at least, there were a couple questions she asked Biden that were kind of tough questions, but she didn't do any follow-ups on them. So, yeah. Anyway, so this guy, he just, I do not argue that Joe Biden will be a conservative president, but I do suggest that he will return decency to the Oval Office, that he will right many of the most egregious wrongs of this administration, and that he will put the safety and well-being of the American people above himself. Who is this man describing? This is not Joe Biden. Joe Biden's going to do whatever will line his pockets the most. So, anyway, wanted to share that with you, okay? What an article. Oh, and again, it hurts my heart to think that that friend of mine was so caught up in that. This was about Flynn here, and the DOJ has posted a letter to the Flynn defense team, and essentially what it says is that you've wanted discovery, so we're giving you what we have, and this is pretty much it as far as I understand it. This is all they have left to give. And it says here, let's see, as we previously disclosed, beginning in January 2020, the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Missouri has been conducting a review of the Michael T. Flynn investigation. Beginning in April 2020 and continuing through October 2020, we have disclosed on a number of occasions documents identified during that review. We are aware of no other documents or information at this time that meet the standard for disclosure in the court's standing order. Okay, so this means we're done. This is really good news, actually, because if he is completely done, the United States Attorney doing this, that means that we're getting set up for everything to come. Everything's been put out that they have about Flynn. So now there's no excuse. There's no reason why Sullivan cannot just take care of this. It's ridiculous that he still hasn't dismissed it. And then you also requested the original 302s and later drafts, or 302, just one of them, and later drafts, or the data evidencing their destruction. And the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, has a well-documented record management program and retention plan that provides specific instructions for the collection of information, the maintenance of documents, and the retention or disposal of documents. Those guidelines state that working files such as preliminary drafts, notes, and other similar materials are to be destroyed when the final documents have been approved by the FBI official with authority to do so. Oh, how convenient. And then gives the policy on that. And then here, the FD 302 of your client's January 24th, 2017 interview was created in Sentinel. which is the FBI's electronic records management system for all criminal and intelligence gathering activities. And then here's about Sentinel. That's what they do. And in this case, SSA-1, that was Pientka, if I remember correctly, began drafting the FD-302 on the evening of January 24th, 2017, which is when they did the interview, which would have been right. Okay. And then goes on and says the FD-302 was electronically accessed by Pientka and former DAD Deputy Assistant Director Peter Strzok in Sentinel on several occasions. The FD-302 was electronically approved by FBI Assistant Director for Counterintelligence, PRESTAP, on February 15, 2017. Our review of Sentinel's audit trail establishes that no other FBI personnel accessed the FD-302 electronically prior to its approval and serialization, which means that one of those two is the person who changed it, okay? Or both of them. They changed it, and they're the only two that could do it. So let's see somebody indicted on that. Our review of Sentinel's audit trail establishes, I read that. Consistent with the FBI's records retention policy, no prior drafts of the FD-302 were maintained within Sentinel. So we do not have the original FD-302. Frustrating. You've previously been provided with 3 draft versions dated February 10, 11, and 14 that were circulated in PDF format by email to FBI personnel for review. Now, even though they're the ones, those two are the only ones who could have changed it, they did send it around for other people to comment on. So lots of people could have had access to it. Finally, you requested all the comms retrieved of McCabe with Comey, Page, Strzok, Baker, Priestap, or anyone else about Flynn, Crossfire, Razor, or any other name for General Flynn or Michael G. Flynn, and any comms of Comey or any FBI member with anyone in the Obama White House about Flynn. As discussed above, we have reviewed those communications and have disclosed all such communications that we have identified that meet the standard for disclosure in the court's standing order. So, it's done. It's a done deal. There's nothing out there, nothing more they can put out. So, it's done. And Catherine Herridge had a post on it. She says, new DOJ filings confirmed no more records to produce, plus FBI summary of Flynn interview FD-302 took 21 days to write and was electronically accessed by Pientka and Strzok on several occasions. Former agents tell CBS News these summaries should take days, not weeks. And that's really what it is. And you can go through and see her highlights on there that might be vital. I didn't see too much in there other than what we already had talked about. So anyway, all right, guys, I came to the end of my tabs. That's it. Now, where are we? What time is it? Oh, okay.
You're doing good.
We're doing good. So now I get to see what all you've been saying that I haven't been able to watch. Has the stream gotten a little bit better? Is it better? Yeah, that. I talk for a living. So it has gotten better. It's not as bad. Okay. Well, that's good. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with my computer itself. So we don't know. But I was going to take you to the Epic Times because they had several articles that were really good. I had them up, but I took those down. So I don't know. I could probably pull them up again, but who knows? Anyway. But yeah, they had... If you don't have a subscription to the Epic Times, I'm serious, guys, you need to get it. You can actually go to their site and you can make a free account and you can see all of the documents, all the articles they have about the coronavirus. Everything about coronavirus is open for the free account people, so you can watch that. But, yeah, there's always a delay, it seems like. There's a delay to see what you're doing. So, exorcism over the city. Yeah, I think Portland needs more than exorcism. Yeah, it's got some pretty crazy people in charge. They need to get out there. But because of a lot of the stuff that's going on and how the ballots are being done, I do have a thread on that some of the researchers put together on ballot security. I need to read through it a little bit more because I wasn't quite grasping what they were saying, how it could be done. So I don't know. Yeah, they have right now. They have a 4-month subscription for the Epoch Times, and 4 months for $1, and that's a great deal. And if you decide you don't want it, then But for $1, folks, yeah, it's well worth it. They have a lot of news you're not going to see on the mainstream media. I got my newspaper today too, so it's like, well, yesterday I think. It's like, ooh, I get a newspaper. So, anyway, well, anybody else have anything? I'm trying to see where my, like I said, it's backwards. Let me put in the time. Okay. Let's see. Because their front page just had all kinds of stories on it. Yeah. A lot of the polls that I saw on Twitter said that President Trump won the debate. I mean, sometimes I would like to just go through the debate and go and pick out all the really good moments, because President Trump had some really good lines, and Biden, there were times about an hour in, 50 minutes in, where Biden really started to decline. I mean, you could tell he just wasn't all there, and his mind wasn't as sharp and everything. So I thought that was interesting. And I definitely believe that they were laying out competing visions. Johnson here says that this Bobulinski guy, his emails are authentic, and he's planning on releasing them. So, yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? Yeah. And Congress has voted, I believe they did vote to bring in Facebook, Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey. So, this one, studies show significant drop in mortality rate for the coronavirus. Well, you don't hear that on the mainstream news. And let's see. Trump did not ask Barr to launch probe. Okay, Trump has been trying to stay out of it. He needs to for necessity, and he has to. He just can't get involved, and he can't say you must go investigate this guy because political opponent. He'd be no better off than Obama, although he actually wants an investigation going, so it's real. But yeah. How is the book going? Okay, here's the deal with the book, all right? Now, I got a lot of people who responded to that video, so let me just give you a little bit of update. I am going to go through them all, and I'll make an email list that I can keep up with you all and give you the basic information. The site that I'll be using is Scribophile. It is set up, it's a type of site for writers. Writers use this all the time to get people to read through and critique their documents, their novels or articles or whatever. And you go through and you can mark where things aren't. You can put in suggestions for maybe how to say something a little differently or whatever. The storyline is set because there are 6 books right now, and I hope eventually to have 8, but I'm not sure about that. The 6 books are, going through the whole storyline. So I can't change things really in the book. I can change slightly how I say a certain thing, but I can't change the book because really it's set up in a specific way, so each novel will build on the others. There's also a short story that we'll start out with, and so when you do that, you'll go there, you make an account. They're free. You can join a group that we're going to have. I'll have a group set up there, and then we can discuss the kinds of things that we're doing on the book. Okay, so give me just couple of days here to get all the names because there were a lot of them. So I'll try to put them together. We'll work on that short story first, and that's the first one I'm going to put out. The short story is like a prequel to the novel series, and the novel series is all based on what things I was researching like 10 years ago. So I'm kind of interested now because some of the things that I had come up with in my research are actually happening now. So, it's one of those things. It's like, I think I was a little psychic on it. No, I was just following the truth is what I was doing. So, yeah. Did he have a rally tonight? Oh, man. I made you guys come in here and he had a rally. Oh, well. I like to watch his rallies after he finishes just because I can double speed him. Sorry. And it's nothing against POTUS. It's just he does talk kind of slowly at him, and it saves me time. If you can't double speed, it really wears on you. So anyway, so the body language ghost says he has Bobolinsky has a video. I ran out of time, didn't get a chance to watch it today. So she says that he's telling the truth. Well, I would take her word for it. Mandy knows what she's doing there. I would think Hunter's got to be somewhere because I think he's got a big target on his back because this is going to just like domino and it's going to take down all the rest of them. It really is. So, that POTUS put Bobolinsky down front, right? Yeah, that was definitely trolling. Did you see? Did I? Was that in the last video? Sometimes I do these videos and it's like, did I tell you that? Yeah, the Babylon Bee thing. I think I put it in the video that went out this morning. So, yeah. Oh, you went to the one at Elkhart? Oh, man. Yeah, I went to that one. And stupid me, I had no clue that it was going to be. I thought because I had a ticket, that meant I could get in. And so my brother and I went. And yeah, we got there and there was this line. It was a huge, it went up and down blocks and blocks and blocks. And it was like, whoa, yeah, we really didn't make it in. So, yeah, that was odd. It was really weird. But I didn't, and that was back before he was even really doing rallies and stuff. And so I didn't know that it was going to be that big. They started the South Bend Airport. And then they moved it to Elkhart because it was bigger. But even there, I don't even think it held 10,000. And there must have been at least 10,000 outside. It was pretty cool. That was back in the days, like I said, early days of the rallies. So I wasn't really that into it. We didn't stay once we found out we weren't getting in. So, I don't know. Yeah, you get out in the sticks and your internet doesn't always behave the way you want it to. So, let's see. What else we got here? Oh, did you know that the New York Post is still locked out of Twitter? They have 6 different things that they're supposed to, 6 different links to articles of theirs that they're supposed to get rid of, and they won't delete them. Because they shouldn't have to. They're a mainstream outlet. There's absolutely no reason why they should not be able to leave those links to their articles up. When you go here, you can see the ones that say premium, you have to have an account. The ones that say, that don't have that, I think you can probably read. You may have to have the free account to read them. But yeah, somebody evidently had a car full of guns and they were going to try to take out Biden. I'm wondering if that's like somebody going to try to frame us for doing something. I don't know. You know how it goes. Epstein and Bill Clinton flew together. Maxwell confirms. I have not had a time to go through all her stuff. She's got there's 19 different documents. And I've been going through, some of them have only 6 pages. And it seems to be their testimony. So, yeah. Yeah. G513. It was good. There was so many people. I was just stunned. And the cops were so friendly and jovial because it was like, yeah, no problems. Nobody was causing any trouble or anything. But that's been a while back. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I just think it's kind of interesting. Trump rejects Biden's claim of a COVID dark winter. So, and success is going to bring us together. Yeah, the type of success that we're going to have. So, red pilling is hard. Just keep that in mind. Well, it's hard for the people who are newly red pilled because we've, a lot of us are getting very used to it. We know what's going to eventually be put out there. But, people who are just waking up don't realize that. And it's some pretty bad stuff. So anyway. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it a night. My nose is getting all stuffy. It's my allergies. It does this like this time every night. So anyway, anything else? I feel like I've had a chance a couple times to chat with you, because I did that kind of impromptu live stream where my phone died. Yeah, he's been asked about Where's Hunter a lot. And I think somebody had asked that, and I think the first time he asked Where's Hunter in his tweets, I think it was about the time that the FBI should have gotten the hard drive. So, kind of interesting. He always does those kinds of things. So, yes, the Iranians were charged with sending letters trying to just stir things up. So, oh yeah, Biden had an island. Didn't I read that? That Biden had an island that was not too awful far from, like 6 miles from Epstein's. Yeah, see, I wasn't watching TV, Vicky. If I'd have been watching TV, I wouldn't have been so naive and stupid. I just guess I didn't imagine it was going to be that much. So, anyway, all right. Well, good night, Lisa. I think I'm going to say good night, guys, unless you have anything else you want to add. Yeah. Exciting times. Well, things are really kind of coming together. And don't forget what POTUS said. It's time to finish it. So let's see what happens with that. Yeah, off and on, if I get a chance and I'm available at the time that my videos are ready to go live, I'll just put them on. And if you can make it in, that's fine. If you can't, it's just kind of nice to chat with you guys. So there's so much going on. That's like, I feel like I can't really keep up with everything. So, okay, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. And I want to thank you so much for coming in and keep me in your prayers. I really want to ask you to pray for me today because not just today, but right now at this period in time, because I'm trying to figure out the best way to do things and still keep being able to keep getting the message out. And it's a tricky fine line that I'm walking, because if I get demonetized too many times, I think that's going to be a negative on me. And then knowing that Patreon's not there anymore, it's like, oh man, as long as PayPal's still up and running, I'm okay. But how long is it going to be, before that happens too? So just something to consider, and keep us all in your prayers, because we're trying to get the truth out, and most of them have found other platforms. I'm still looking. I've got a lot of legalese that I need to read for Rumble. I think that's probably my most favorite choice. I know there's YouTube, the Utah gun thing, but I like Rumble. I like how it looks. There's a lot of big names there. So pray for me to have wisdom to know how to handle everything that's coming at me and what to do. Okay, guys? So I keep you all in my prayers, and we're in this together, because you know what? Where we go, one. So anyway, on my website, you can always go there, truthificationchronicles.com. I don't know. Bar's been kind of mobile lately, which is a good thing. So anyway, so let me see what I have to do here in stream. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if I got to click one place or two, but we're going to try it. So again, Thanks, everybody. God bless you. And remember to vote. If you haven't voted yet, please get out there and vote and drag anybody you can with you to make them vote too. Okay? So I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for stopping by.